But even getting to J. Cole, it's just like, dude, you do this too often. Nothing about his music is sticking. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if it's this attitude now that he's going with, that I don't have to participate in shit that makes a lot of people look at rappers as great, which is putting together controversial topics, or maybe saying something that really sparks up conversation or discourse at any point. Like, he's never done that.
Bro, I swear my biggest gripe with J. Cole since about 2021 when he dropped the off season is like, yeah, you can rap and you can rap extremely well, but I've heard all this before. Can you try to do a little bit more to deepen your bag? Like, I get that you can rap, but what's next?
So, about 2 videos ago, I used this very same clip to sort of help make an argument that I don't actually agree with. That argument being the fact that J. Cole has more music and that he's not doing anything special in hip hop. Now, as I said, I don't agree with that narrative, and in my video, I said I didn't agree with it, but I never went into detail on why or how I truly feel on the matter. So today, I intend on doing that topic a little bit of justice. So I want to start off by dispelling this really massive narrative going around about J. Cole. He hasn't changed up his writing style, and it's very boring, and he leaves you desiring more.
I get it, bro. All these things, I get it. I get these themes. I know you come from the Ville and had to struggle. I know you got a homie going through this and that, and the nigga in a fucked up situation. I know you seen this street nigga doing this and this street nigga doing that, and the fucked up situation they ended up in because they was doing this and that. I know you rap about rapping good. I know you rap about killing my favorite rapper. I know you a horn dog who suffered from temptation, dog. I get it, I promise. I know you rap about fighting complacency and things of that nature. I know you made it from the bottom and, you know, now you at the top and you kind of got survivor's guilt. I know all these angles, bro. Hell, I know you can point of view rap a nigga to death. I know all this and I love it, but you know, I just wanted more is all.
Now, this is a take I've been hearing all over the place recently. Sean C has also reflected these same sentiments, and let me just say, I hate this take. I mean, I hate this take. The reason why I hate this take is because there are very few rappers who change how they speak on songs. Every single rapper has a select few things they talk about, and then you can expect that from that rapper until the end of time, basically. And if you don't believe me, let's just run down the list. Eminem only talked about the most outlandish shit he could think of on a song, his daughter, and basically making motivational songs. All Biggie ever talked about was lifestyles of a thug, saying the most outlandish shit he could think of on a song, and that's really it, honestly. Pusha T has a whole reputation for basically exclusively talking about drugs, and so does basically all of Griselda and even Freddie Gibbs as well. Hell, that topic is so prominent, there's basically a whole style of rap about it. And outside of drugs, they talk about being thugs, which is basically all they talk about. That was basically all what Tupac talked about as well, positive change in society from a more local level. All Nas ever does is talk about New York and the harsh life of being in New York. And now look, do all these artists have their slight deviations in their catalogs? Yes. Does Pusha T and Malice have Birds Don't Sing, which is a heart-wrenching tribute song to their parents in their passing? Does Tupac have Dear Mama, where he makes a loving tribute song to his mother? Does Eminem have White America, where he talks about race and the effect he has on children in America? Does Biggie have Everyday Struggle, where he talks about the harsh realities of being in the hood, doing bad things, and making light of suicide? Does Nas have I Can, where he empowers kids to work hard and achieve their goals? Obviously, yes, but these songs are massive deviations to what these guys normally talk about. And that's fine because the reality of it is most people don't care for deviation, and that's why it works.
Something that I love going to Young Thug for is for these new refreshing flows, right? These crazy cadences. He's so original and he's so, I would say, innovative when it comes to like a new studio album experience. Certain vocal inflections I never heard before. This shit's generic, bro. I've heard Young Thug do these flows and
this is why it's so hard to evolve, because comfortability sets in. The idea that you can have success doing this particular thing, then why change it? You know, if it isn't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. You build a fan base that grow to expect a specific behavior, and the deviation of said behavior is generally going to be frowned on, at least at first. This is not going to say you shouldn't deviate. That's a topic for another time. The point is, this is par for the course for everyone. And all of this is just to say that every rapper has their lane. J. Cole's lane is exactly what this guy said it was for the most part. But I think the real issue is not in the fact that he has his lane. The real issue is most likely the fact that the topics J. Cole covers aren't interesting enough for this guy in particular. And that's fine as well. I just don't like when people try to make it seem like this is a J. Cole exclusive thing. Now, the next point I want to address, and this is particularly something Sean C has expressed on a few occasions, but it's this idea that nothing J. Cole says is provocative or controversial. Nothing about him sticks, and he's fooling the fans into thinking he's actually worthy of conversation by using really skillful raps.
He does this all the time. He come back with some pretty good raps on a song that you never go back to, but his fan base feel empowered because he obviously can rap, but never says anything of substance, and then you keep moving. And I don't know how he keeps fooling them, and sometimes he be fooling me too. He grabbed me because he got good raps, he got good flows. He knows how to make music that sounds appealing.
Now, this is a bit of a better argument, I'd say, because I could see exactly where he's coming from. He's also said in other videos that he feels J. Cole doesn't excel at nuance and dissection of things in his music. I actually think J. Cole's a lot better with those things than Sean is giving him credit for. But let's enter in a guy like Lil Wayne or Snoop Dogg or Kanye. Lil Wayne is a legend in rap, and why? What did he say that was so provocative? Where was his nuance? Where was his crazy dissections? See, the reality is Sean is only saying this because his criteria for someone being in that conversation is way too strict. But in actuality, that's not even how the masses work. The masses don't care about all of that all the time. As I said in my last video discussing the counter arguments to this video here, you don't need to excel at everything. Lil Wayne didn't do any of the things Sean is claiming J. Cole needs to do. He simply got on a record and rapped his ass off. That's it. In fact, so did Eminem. Kanye didn't create these massive provocative theses like Kendrick. He became a legend with good music, and good music doesn't require that kind of thing. Now, I slightly feel like Sean likes to compare J. Cole to Kendrick so much that he subconsciously is having Kendrick in mind as a reference whenever he discusses J. Cole, because everything he claims J. Cole lacks are the same things that Kendrick has. Making theses, being provocative, being nuanced are all things Kendrick excels at. But the flaw in his logic is assuming that that's something that's required to be great when most of the greats don't excel at those things. They excel in other ways. This is a massive reason why I absolutely hate the discourse of rap today. Back in the 90s, they were passing out classics like candy. Damn near every rapper from the 90s has a classic, and if you dropped a classic record, the people were quick to claim that it was a classic and put you in the conversation. But now you need to have an album be up for at least 5 years according to Lou from NFR, and according to Sean, you need to fucking shift the landscape of hip hop or whatever that means. And look, to be fair, this is just the evolution of things in general. At one point, discovering fire was revolutionary, and now we're trying to figure out how we can terraform Mars. Lastly, I want to reiterate the message I was saying 2 videos ago. There are a lot of people who are staring down a massive goal and probably feel overwhelmed by the massive expectations that come with whatever it is that they're trying to do. A lot of the times, though, these expectations come from outside, then infiltrate our minds, and we as individuals do the rest of the heavy lifting and inherit the pressure brought to us and place it onto ourselves. I'm not saying there's no reason to feel pressure or be overwhelmed. That's unrealistic. I'm just saying be aware of where that pressure comes from and its origins. You don't need to excel at everything. Sometimes the answers to your biggest problems and grievances have the simplest solutions. If you give yourself time to think about it, you can figure it out, and you can have just as much success as you see other people around you have. With that being said, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, comment, and yeah, I'd like to hear what people have to say about it.